What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Hops Geek News, your home for comic books, movies, TV shows, and today we have an excellent guest because we are going to be talking with J Grasso, who is in the upcoming film Mutilator 2. It's a sequel to the 1984 film Mutilator 1, and he's in a bunch of other really fun, exciting horror films that you may or may not have heard of. Regardless, we will be talking to him today, so go ahead, like, subscribe, share, follow, tell a friend, tell your mom, tell your grandma, tell everybody about Hops Geek News. You can find us on any social media platform at that name. Our website, www.hops-geek-news.com. It's in the website notes down there, or, you can just come hang out with us anywhere in our DMs, on our Discord, Patreon, if you want to support the show. We do, early episodes, ad-free episodes, and also Patreon movie night with our fans. And for fans, our family, we like to call each other, we're family, Fast and Furious here. But first things first, we always talk about what we're drinking, what we're reading or watching, give you our weekly comic book recs, a little bit of news, and then our main topic. So before we get to the good stuff, I am drinking from Burlington Beer Company. It's called Creatures of Magic. I figured we're doing like a horror style. It's got Bigfoot on there. It's got some UFOs, got some weird other things on the can. I just figured, hey, it's a 6.5% IPA from Burlington, Vermont. Love me some Vermont beer anytime I can get my hands on it, and just figured it fit the theme. So that's what I'm drinking. I got my cool little horror glass. That's what I got. So Lauren, what do you got?
So I actually went, I don't really have any horror themed stuff right now, but some big news broke today that I'm sure everybody has heard about, but we're still going to talk about it a little bit.
News!
And that is Jared Padalecki and Misha Collins are joining the cast.
Oh my gosh.
Of Boys.
They are.
So I have my payback shirt
That's
on.
crazy.
I have a Happy Colors Calusa beer because we dropped like a cup. My mom was at Calusa and we dropped like $200 on beers for her to bring because it's one of our favorite breweries. And the reason I picked Happy Colors was one, because I absolutely had to drink Calusa tonight. And two, there was an episode of Supernatural where they met a psychic. The psychic could read minds. And when he looked at Cass, he goes, "All I'm picking up from you are colors." And I'm very happy about this news. And Cass picks up colors, and I have it in my soup juice glass.
Very nice. I got a little juice can up there that's empty, but that is pretty dope.
Poster there. I got my Soldier Boy here. I got I'm ready to go, man. I am ready to go.
Go into. We don't have anything that we messed up on or looked into last week. If you ever catch us messing up on anything at all, do us a favor. Let us know. We'd like to be held accountable here. None of us are perfect, so drop us a DM.
Or if there's something you don't like that we do that we could improve on. I'm open to that too.
I'm open to criticism. Nobody is perfect, even Jesus made mistakes.
Don't
all right.
Say you guys suck.
I'm not the American government. I can take criticism. Trust me. Okay, I will listen. But
I might cry, but I'll listen.
I'll be a little sad, but whatever. Speaking of exciting times and, criticisms, and this has nothing to do with any of that, but let's go into what we've been reading or watching. So some comic book recs that I got for you this week. I got Red Hulk issue number 1. It's a Ben Percy week, man. I'm a big Ben Percy guy for Marvel, even though I'm telling you every time I see like his voice, he intimidates me. But Red Hulk number 1 is going on in this world of One World Under Doom. It's got Benjamin Percy as the writer, Jeff Shaw as the artist, Brian Valenza as the colorist, and then Corey Pettit as the letterer. And dude, it starts off really, really crazy. I mean, Red Hulk is in there just doing some crazy things. He takes a plane down. Next thing you know, Thaddeus Ross is in a prison. And then from there, it kind of shows that he's not the only one being held captive by Doom. And there's a lot of other characters, villains, if you will. And
not your run-of-the-mill villains either. It's not like, oh, there's so-and-so. Oh, I know that. Like I feel like
they're deep cuts, man. I feel like there's some pretty good deep cuts in this one.
Yeah, and it was kind of cool how they communicate and stuff. It was,
I
really enjoyed it. I thought it was fantastic. I'm excited to read more of that one.
It was a really fun read. I definitely think people were going to enjoy it. It ends in a prison break. So if you like prison breaks, you like Thaddeus Ross, it's cool to see him in this light. The next thing I read was Hellverine issue number 3, which I'll let Lauren talk about. However, she told me I should read it. I was like, all right, I'll see what this is about, right? Let's check it out. Why not? I had never read anything about Daken. I barely read, X-Men Wolverine in general, but I've been all about the Ultimate Wolverine train, another Ben Percy, Brian Valenza comic run. And so I picked up issues 1 through 3 of Hellverine because I liked issue 3 so much that I went ahead and I just picked up the first 3 issues so I can kind of catch up. Because issue 3 is cool. I described it to Lauren. It was Ghost Rider meets Wolverine. Like if they had a baby, that's kind of what this is like. I'm on board.
Wolverine and Itsu had a baby.
Yes.
Well, what's cool about it too is, that was one of the books I reviewed this week. And it comes from another Hellverine series that came out this summer where Wolverine was actually Hellverine. Ooh. And Wolverine was able to expel it. And then it found Daken, but they're not calling him. And what I think is really cool about this version of Hellverine. It's not
they're not calling him Daken in this. Yeah.
Right. He's a Kiro because Daken was an insult. What I love about this is it's giving the backstory of Dakin and the fact that he was murdered when his mom was still pregnant with him, which was Itsu. And so they're explaining all that throughout it, and it's really cool. But he was actually murdered at the end of the Ben Percy Wolverine series, the Sabretooth Wars, because it was Logan's birthday. And anytime it's Logan's birthday, Sabretooth likes to show up and kill somebody he loves. So he actually killed him. So this is a story of him coming back.
All right. Well, he is back. It's pretty good. I definitely recommend people getting it. I read Green Lantern Dark at number 3 from DC Comics as well. And then another one that I really, really think people should be reading right now is the Jason Aaron, Juan Ferreira run of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from IDW. So I picked up issue 7. I read it. It starts off like it's so hard. Like the opening page is just freaking crazy. The artwork way, it's the Ninja Turtles are fighting their way through New York City. New York City's basically turned against them. They're all
what is
the
with
hand.
New York? They always turn against the people that help them.
I'm just saying.
Hand. They're everywhere.
Yes. Well, the Foot Clan has infiltrated the politicians of New York, and the Foot Clan are the law in New York City now. And the Turtles still aren't on good terms with each other at this moment in time. So there's a lot of drama going on between the Turtles. I do too, but Donatello, poor guy. He's had it rough in this, but honestly, dude, this is a really good read. Everybody should be picking this one up. It's got me really reinvigorated into the Ninja Turtles. It's one of my severely underrated runs, really good runs of the year so far. So make sure you guys pick that up. I haven't watched anything, believe it or not. I've just been asleep, reading comics, doing homework, going to work, working out, repeat.
And watching a lot of Daredevil.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Daredevil and Punisher, which, we dropped that episode on Friday. If that episode's out, getting you ready for this week, we are going to be doing Cantina Hours, doing live episode recaps after they've come out. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe to our YouTube, no big deal. But Lauren, you talked about Hellverine a little bit, but please, by all means, take the floor. What do you got?
So the other one I reviewed this week was Hornsby and Halo. That is a Ghost Machine comic. I've talked about that quite a bit. The story's getting better. It's getting more intense. They're opening up more of Pandora's box, so to speak. And I've been really loving that. Anything from Ghost Machine's fantastic. This was only issue 4. So plenty of time to still jump in now. And the other thing, I was actually reading some Namor comics just now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I obviously I really like Namor. I love the ocean and whatnot. And what's actually interesting is we got approved for a panel at Richmond, Virginia Comic-Con. And one of the things we're going to be discussing is the differences and similarities between DC and Marvel and the characters of which came first. And it's so funny when you read Namor of how similar origin story he has of Aquaman. I mean, their moms were both Atlanteans and their fathers were human. They were both supposed to be the king of Atlantis. And so this is all about it starts with Namor's in a prison and they break him out temporarily because he needs to go stop these 7 Seas wars. It's interesting. I really like the past more of it. So I'm still kind of feeling it. I'm on, I think, issue 6 now. So I don't love it, but I don't hate it, but I'm invested. But I like when they do the clips where he's my mother or the Atlanteans didn't like when I went up to go fight the Earth Wars, and it's a scene in World War II. That's really cool. Him fighting with the Human Torch and Cap and all that. So yeah, I love a good Namor story.
No, it's good. I mean, not every comic is going to be one that, you are so drawn in and gripped by and things like that. And that's okay. If you're liking it, not loving it, that's still okay. I mean, it takes your mind off of things and you're just chilling and reading. And that's just as good in my opinion. I mean, it's obviously good enough you're continuing to read. So
yeah. Well, and the art is so pretty too, because there are depictions of under the sea and, what they do with the different animals. And when they're in the depths of the sea, you see a goblin shark and, so you see all those fun. Really cool things.
I do love seeing different creatures and stuff and how they draw them when we go other places that aren't just people and cities. So I'm always down for that too. But I'm reading, Aquaman is mine. So we're on 2 sides of the sea, if you will, which is going to make our panel a lot of fun, I think, because I'm DC or Marvel and they really draw from each other. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have a lot of fun at that panel. 10:15 p.m., both Friday and Saturday. We're going to have panels.
I still can't believe this is happening this late.
I guess that's when all the kids come out.
We'll
I don't know if GalaxyCon knows that we're old. So we'll see how it goes. But if you happen to be going to GalaxyCon Richmond, we will be there along with Megan from Vigilante Vibes and Nerd Initiative, hosting 2 panels. The first one Friday is we're going to draft our superhero teams. And you guys in the audience get to, if there's any audience, gets to decide kind of who wins.
Riley and Micah.
It'll be our friends. That's fine. Healthy debates. And then that Saturday night at 10:15 p.m. Woof. Well, we're going to probably be doing a benchtop brewing event beforehand because the convention closes at 6. We're going to kick it for a couple hours and come back. And so bring some beers with us, if you will. And so from there, we are going to be doing, comic book copycats, basically. So you've heard of Captain Marvel, but there's Captain Marvel is Shazam and Captain Marvel is Carol Danvers. So just talking about characters like that, essentially, is what we're going to be doing.
Or Flash and Quicksilver, Namor, Aquaman.
Yeah,
and we'll have fun facts too.
Wade Wilson, Slade Wilson. Oh,
it's going to be fun.
We're going to make
those are fun. Completely different characters, though, but definitely worth mentioning.
It's the ripoff. It's the Temu version, one or the other, if you will. So yes, we are going. Iron Man is, Batman.
Adam.
They're
Iron
all.
Man.
Yeah.
And he's Ant-Man. No, he's Ant-Man. Oh yeah.
So,
Cyborg.
Exactly. See,
what do you have? The tech guy.
Yeah, we're going to be
getting his name.
Talking all of that. You get the gist at this point, folks. So come check us out. Come see us there. Let us know if you'll be there. We'll be, each day Lauren's going to come up. It's going to be fun. We're going to hit some breweries. But let's go into some news real quick. Lauren, you kind of touched on this. So yeah, The Boys, season 5. We knew Jared Padalecki was going to be in season 5, but we did not know Misha Collins was going to be in season 5.
Had no clue.
I'm interested. What are we going to be? Good guys, bad guys, heroes, powered up, normal people? What are you thinking? What do you hope?
I really don't know. I think because they're the main characters, they're not going to do like what they did with Chuck, where they made Chuck eat his own and none of us can look at God the same ever
Oh my
again.
God, if they did that with Jared and Misha, I don't know if I would ever be able to watch Supernatural or look at them the same ever again. But I also feel like Jared is down to do some weird shit.
Yeah, but I don't know him in anything other than Supernatural. I've literally and Friday the 13th. So I've never seen him outside of the box, whereas Jensen, I had also never seen him outside of Supernatural.
That's I had seen Jensen in some stuff, but it wasn't, nothing that was too big or crazy, right? But Jared, I've never seen outside of Supernatural, save Friday the 13th. But even in Friday the 13th, he played it pretty straight.
Yeah,
he was, Daniel Pennebaker. So I
think they could have fun. I don't know that I want Misha to be a bad guy because remember when he played evil Misha?
I hated it. It was so cringy.
But he did a fantastic job playing Cassifer. So if he was a bad guy in that regard, I could see that. But I think what would be cool is if he was a soup that has wings. Because obviously we're going to get nods to Supernatural. There's no way they're going to avoid that at this point. Whether or not they'll all be in a scene together, I don't know. I hope that Dakota Bob at some point calls one of them an idiot. I have no idea. I can't even fathom what characters are going to make them be. But I also think that they're going to spin it. Because, as bad as what they did with Chuck and, with Jack, they had Jack's, pee-pee explode.
Yeah.
So those two characters are bad. We almost got to see a fully new Jensen, but that wasn't bad or embarrassing. I mean, the man's got, he worked out like crazy before it too. So that was fine. But they toned down Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Jensen's characters because Jensen in the comics, Soldier Boy, is very weak. He sleeps with Homelander at Herogasm to try to get back into the Seven. Like, obviously they didn't go in that route because, they're related in this. So they went a very different way. Soldier Boy was never like somebody people who knew him were scared of. And then Jeffrey Dean Morgan was a joke to Carl Urban's character, to Billy Butcher. He was somebody who he
wasn't even real.
Up in the ear by a monkey and got a disease. And so they went a very different way. So I don't know what they'll do with these two, but I hope it's good. I hope it's more than a cameo, but I'm so excited to see it. And this is
it's gotta be.
Yeah. And learned in Supernatural, there's a multiverse.
There is. So
this is the Supernatural multiverse.
It's connected. Yeah. I'm excited. Now let's go into some DC news. We got a lot of DC news. Speaking of things I'm excited about, Robert Pattinson obviously will not be in James Gunn's Batman. They've been saying it, but people have been speculating maybe he will be, maybe he won't be. No, he won't be. Will not be. It will. No, I don't know. We don't know. Apparently, Brave and the Bold is being worked on. We don't know who the Batman is. There's not a script yet for Batman 2, even though Robert Pattinson said he had seen the script.
Is this why it keeps getting delayed?
I don't know. I can't do this
just to
anymore.
torture you?
I'm so tired. But we are getting a Teen Titans film, so that's going to be in the works. We are also getting My Adventures with Green Lantern animated series, which is going to take place in the same universe as My Adventures with Superman. And then we have a Starfire animated series as well that's coming out. So there's a lot going on. They're looking at doing at least 2 live action films and 1 animated film per year, not counting the shows. So they're looking at maybe 7 projects a year or something like that. They have a 3-year plan in DC is what Peter Safran and James Gunn said. I'm really excited as long as it's done well, obviously. And we'll see where it goes. I can't wait to see what DCU Batman, everyone's established in this universe just about. We'll see what happens. I'm really, really pumped to see who they start to cast for some of these characters. They also said that Supergirl's filming is going pretty well. It's kind of a grittier type film, which is really
Good.
interesting. I don't want it to be too,
Is she getting pants?
I don't know. We haven't seen her costume yet. We've seen
I
a
like
back
when they
shot of
gave
her in
the
like a
CW
jean
one
jacket.
pants.
That's it. So
Okay.
I don't know. We don't know. I'm waiting for that. They'll probably, I imagine probably the spring or maybe even San Diego Comic-Con, they might end up doing some sort of reveals of some sorts, I would imagine, if I was a betting man, for a lot of the DC stuff that they're doing, and maybe a Supergirl trailer. So we'll see what happens there. And then Clayface is going to be a body horror film. It's going to come out. Mike Flanagan's directing, first of all. So if you know him. Yes.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
On Hill House, he does a lot of those. Yeah. So Mike
Nice.
Flanagan's going to be the director, and it's going to come out in 2026. They're actually eyeing Daniel Radcliffe to star as Clayface in this film, which I think is cool. A lot of people are going to automatically say Harry Potter, but
no, I've seen him in other clips.
Exactly, like Swiss Army Man, where it's weird. He's a really good actor, and
he's tiny though. Clayface, I feel like he's big.
No,
Clayface is it all CGI?
Well, yeah, you can't turn his body into clay, you goober.
Well, I'm trying to think of the Clayfaces I've seen.
Clayface turns into
I
can be a human,
but do they need him to be like? Is he just going to be all mocap?
Well, most likely when it's going to be human version, it'll be Daniel Radcliffe, and then he'll do a lot of mocap shapeshifting. Yeah, probably.
Is the human version that tiny? Because he's a little dude.
It doesn't matter.
He's jacked, but he's little.
I don't know. Daniel Radcliffe.
I mean, whatever. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine.
I was about to say, like, first and foremost, have you seen what they've done with Robert Downey Jr.? They put the man in stilts to be the same size as everybody else. Come on. Does it really matter? I don't know.
Robert Downey Jr.
Come on. I don't know, but that's what I have for DC news. Why don't you take us through a couple of pieces of news that we have here?
So Doctor Who will be back on Disney Plus on April 12th.
Yeah.
And Dead City is coming back to AMC on May 4th.
Okay.
Dead City, I'm not going to lie, of the three that came back with Walking Dead, Dead City was my least favorite. But I'm more pumped for this season than I was last.
She's asking for screeners. Don't hear it. Blah, blah, blah. They can't hear you.
The trailer looked really good and got me like hyped. Because what they're doing is they learn how to turn walkers into electricity, basically. And and I actually was in the press panel at New York Comic Con, and they talked about how you're going to get a whole recipe for how to turn walkers into electricity. And so that got me pumped for this next season too. Because
that's
it
a
still
really
felt
unique
like
idea. Wow.
Negan and Maggie were figuring out like what they are, who they are, and like how does what can Maggie ever get over what happened and whatnot. So I feel like we've kind of dealt with that and seen them both struggle with that. So now we can kind of move on with the story. But what was really cool in the trailer was they're showing the process of dumping the walkers in there, and all this stuff is going on, and all of a sudden this very dark apocalypse New York City lights up with Radio City Music Hall. And I thought that was really cool.
Okay, that is pretty cool. That is awesome. I like that.
So why don't you tell us some Star Wars news?
Yeah, back to Star Wars news. The rumor and word is that Kathleen Kennedy is retiring from Star Wars at the end of this year. So we don't know who the successor is. Probably Dave Filoni, that people have talked about, Kevin Feige. I have a lot of good ideas. If Star Wars wants to call me, I'm telling you. Like, make it a cool pod racing series. You can do that.
Prequel for Thrawn.
Well, we can get a Dr. Aphra show. We can get, a Rogue Squadron style film. Give me a Battle of Jakku.
Dark Disciple
special presentation film. I got ideas. I got this. Disney, call me. I got, I'm working my masters. And stuff.
I know you want to veer away from Skywalker, but they only touched on Skywalker in those.
I'm just saying, like, how many projects were greenlit and then never saw the light of day. That's why everyone's kind of down on Star Wars right now.
Stop announcing them until
let's
happening.
Let's get Star Wars to going again, man. There's so much to love. Speaking of which, Andor, April 22nd. So interesting choice what they're doing. So April 22nd, they're premiering episodes 1 through 3. April 29th, episodes 4 through 6, May 6th, episodes 7 through 9, and then it'll wrap up May 13th with episodes 10 through 12. Now, each 3 episode is its own arc, and then they time travel after.
What? So, they jump.
Yes, they time jump to get to Rogue One. So
after adding time travel to Star Wars?
Well, no, they time jump after each 3 episodes. So that's probably why they're doing it. So it's their 3 episode, so that's what they're doing there. And I'm excited. We'll see. Me, I love Andor. Great spy thriller. Give us some more of that in the Star Wars universe. You can do a lot with that. So that's the Star Wars news that we got this week.
And we're getting a Marvel and DC comic crossover. Did you read any of the stuff about this? Do we have any details?
Yeah. So I think Jim Lee's coming in to do some work on it. They haven't announced the storyline. That it's going to be 2 of them this year. One shots, of course. But that's exciting because they are bringing it back. The 90s were really good for crossovers. Batman was fighting Spawn. Batman was fighting Predator. And now, you had Captain America and Batman teaming up. And so now we're kind of getting back to that, which I think is really showing you how dope comic books are right now. So they haven't announced too many details. Bleedingcool.com are the ones that were talking about it. They went to Comics Pro. So we're waiting for more pretty much from there.
Awesome. And then we're getting a Marvel special presentation featuring Punisher.
Dude. I have an idea for that one too. Come on, Marvel. I got ideas. John Barenthal. I got ideas.
I really wonder what they're going to do, because after they gave him, he had 2 seasons of his show all his own. It's like, what is going to be?
Have it set during the blip, and he's taking out a crime boss, and having cross paths with Ronin. I think that'd be awesome. Just like I thought Kate Bishop having to cross paths in Daredevil would kind of connect everything and kind of be cool if he spends a little time.
Ronin was hired by Kingpin.
Yeah. See, I got ideas, man. What if Kingpin's in it? He's going after Kingpin. He fails for some reason or another during the blip, and he comes across Ronin. They face off against each other.
Maybe they bond though, because they both lost everything.
Maybe. But maybe both, not. I would like it if they didn't bond even. That would be kind of cool, because then I don't know. But we'll see. We don't know. John Bernthal's co-writing, so we'll see what happens. What about this Daredevil news before I wrap up with a bit of sad news?
They're both people though that only kill bad people.
Yeah.
Because Hawkeye. Okay. So Daredevil, this is the release schedule for the first 6 episodes. March 4th, we'll release the first 2 episodes, and these will be airing later in the evening. March 11th will be episode 3, March 18th, episode 4, and then March 25th, episode 5 and 6. And that's all we know for now.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Yeah, I think they're doing that so that way they don't cross over with Andor at any point. Just, doing that 5 and 6 are airing together, I think, so they can wrap up before Andor is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
People are like, why are they doing that? Pretty sure that's why.
Because they don't want Disney to wrap it up. And Andor and Daredevil are on.
Oh my God. I think my heart would not be able to take it. I would need General Ross's
pills.
Any
Disney app would not be able to take it. Oh, here's another piece of news. Cosmic Rewind is no longer virtual queue. So it's all standby line. I was randomly monitoring the wait time the other day. It never got over an hour that I saw. So that's good. At one point, Remy
just wait until the big crowds start to come in. Just wait.
I should check it. What time? I'm going to check it right now.
Speaking of which, Universal Studios Hollywood is getting a new Fast and Furious roller coaster. Hey, I'm excited for that.
They actually pour Corona on you at one point. You're like,
oh yeah, I'm in. Corona. Yes, I'm so in the bag. Well, anyways, before we get to our main topic, let's wrap up with Michelle Trachtenberg. Unfortunately, she has passed away at the age of 39 due to natural causes. She did have a liver transplant not too long ago, so her body could have just rejected it. We're not too sure. To say
natural causes. And if that name doesn't sound familiar, what Road
Harriet
Trip?
The Spy. She was in Euro Trip.
Yeah, Euro Trip. Yeah.
You made out with your sister, man. Oh,
they were the worst twins ever. One of the twins went on to be a ghost facer.
That's true. And I loved her. She was, and Clarissa explains it all for a bit. She was a big Nickelodeon star. She was in Gossip Girl.
Explains it
she
all?
popped in and out on that. She wasn't like a big, but yeah, she was in that.
Younger, though.
Harriet the Spy. She was in Gossip Girl. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which is getting rebooted. So that's a whole other layer to things. But unfortunately, yeah, she's 39, man.
Way too young.
Somebody that I grew up watching on TV and stuff, which sucks because it
makes you.
Why are you always taking these people, man?
And not the people that deserve it, or the old.
Listen here, Satan. I got plenty of people I'd be willing to offer up if you would just give us some of the good people back. Neither here nor there. Let's go. Speaking of killing, we're going to go into our interview now with Carl Grasso, talking about Mutilator 2 and his time in film. So we'll see you guys after a few messages from these sponsors. Who knows what you're going to get? Hey, what's up, guys? We are back with Carl J. Grasso. You will see him in the upcoming film Mutilator 2, but nobody can do this introduction. This man is all over the place doing a lot of cool stuff. He is an actor, a playwright, and he's a member of the Dramatist Guild, which I probably just absolutely butchered that.
No, you didn't. You're good. You're good.
I did. Hey, I was talking to Lauren. I was like, oh, God, I'm always terrible at pronouncing things. But that is the man. He's been acting and writing for more than 20 years. So, Carl, welcome to the show. Why don't you go ahead and introduce the folks at home, or introduce yourself to the folks at home?
Hi, I'm Carl. That's it. All right, see you later. Bye. I do lots of things. I do things. Like right now, I'm actually on stage, which is kind of like the Loch Ness Monster. I do more film than theater, but I was offered the role of Hercule Poirot for Agatha Christie's Murder on the Orient Express. Orient Express.
Cool.
Yeah, and it's Kernersville Little Theater in North Carolina. If anybody's local, tickets are still being sold for this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It is the most difficult role I've ever had in my entire career because most acting jobs, well, I'm going to say all acting jobs, whatever I do, I try to do it as best as I can, try to make it real, try to make a character that you go, hey, I know that guy. That's kind of like my uncle, or that's the guy at the bowling alley. that guy. But now I'm playing a literary figure, so I really had to buckle down for 3 months and figure out accents and what the guy, what makes him tick and stuff. I love acting. It's I think my first real passionate art that I fell in love with. Just learning how to create people, create characters, and live in their sort of occupations and skin, that kind of thing. It's just fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're out by Greensboro, North Carolina, then? That's where that's taking place at? Kind of like in between that and Winston-Salem?
Yes, and well, it's Kernersville,
Right.
which is close. It's like in between. Yeah, I live in Greensboro.
So, my wife's grandma actually lives in Greensboro. We go down there quite often, funny enough. So that's how I knew that name sounded familiar to me.
Let me know. We'll meet at the Hops Burger joint. We'll hang out.
Yeah, I love that spot. Yes, next time I'm down there, I'm gonna have to hit you up. I know that spot. That's
absolutely
really awesome. It's really cool. It's a really nice, beautiful area. And man, if my wife was not working this weekend, I would absolutely be down there because she's been talking about visiting her grandma, and I would have been like, "What a great way to go visit!"
You go there and you have a show.
Yeah.
Somebody might actually have the flu accidentally. Ooh, I gotta go home. I can't go to work tomorrow. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. And there's planes.
How did you? So you went from you're doing, Orient Express, but then also you have a nice, fun history into horror. So what is that dynamic like? Is it one prefer over the other? Like, how is it easy to switch from one to the other?
My life is odd. It's like at one point I go, well, I've been in a couple films with severed rubber penises being thrown at me.
Well, who hasn't?
And then I go into like some like serious theater and serious experimental theater, and then in the back of my mind I go, oh, I should tell that story about the rubber penis hitting me in the face. And then I go, wait, maybe I shouldn't, because they look at me like, wait, what?
Right?
But like
you
that,
know your audience.
Yeah, but it's my life. I'm like, I have a story of people hitting me, with just giant globs of blood or something crazy happening. I love horror movies as a viewer of films. Like I was always like I couldn't wait for the next Friday the 13th to come out. Or I grew up in that perfect sweet spot where every week there was another horror movie in the 80s and the 90s.
Really, I tell Lauren that all the time. The 80s were like prime for horror.
Oh yeah. It was like this, like I said, the sweet spot. Like every week you'd have a Halloween, a Friday the 13th, a Nightmare on Elm Street, a Phantasm, something new would be coming out. Candyman, and there'd be a sequel like the next week. Like, wow, this is crazy. And then it died because then it got really bad, like with the Leprechauns and that kind of thing. And then it raised up in the mid 90s with Scream. Scream changed everything and made horror cool again. And now it's I think horror is getting a new renaissance now with the quiet horror kind of thing, or the is that the peekaboo horror? What is it called? Like just like horror, like wait, did I just see something? Like what was that? And then like something comes at the jump scare kind of horror.
Yeah. You've got a lot of those. And so kind of growing up, was it always your goal? How did you get into theater? Was it something you've always done? And then was being a horror actor like your goal from day one?
No, not at all. I just wanted to see if I can do it, if I can portray people realistically. So like big fan of like the big actors, like Robert De Niro, Jack Nicholson, Christopher Walken, like the real guys who did the work, that kind of thing. And through friends and that kind of stuff, hey, you want to come down to St. Mark's theater in close to 2nd Avenue by no, I'm wrong. By Greenwich Village in Manhattan. I got this horror movie I'm shooting. I'm like, oh, what's it called? Theater of Horror. And my life changed because I met my friend Will Colazzo Jr., who makes tons of horror movies. He's worked with all sorts of celebrities, from Todd Bridges to Tom Sizemore to recently Butch Patrick, actually.
Oh, wow.
From Eddie Munster, yeah. So he's Lloyd Kaufman. I work with him, with Will. So Will likes to make funny, silly kind of horror movies that are based kind of like in the trauma, kind of where Lloyd Kaufman is with like the Toxic Avenger or the Class of Nukem High type of genres. And I love working with Will because Will's my friend. And like he'll take the handcuffs off me and let me actually make a real character in his films. Mm-hmm. And I've gotten some good press from some of the movies I've done. I've just did Silent Night, Bloody Night 3, The Descent. It's got so many titles, but that's available on Vimeo, and you can see that. And I got some good reviews over that one too. And that one's just got released on Retrospolation in 3D. I haven't seen the 3D cut yet, but it should be fun. It's like it's a slasher movie, and I play an orderly, and there's some crazy things going on in an asylum. So, And of course I have to deal with it. I have to deal with the nonsense. Yeah, that's every movie. I have to deal with the nonsense.
Go. Some of your characters, going through and looking at them, like I Slay on Christmas, Alcorn, the Amityville Turkey Day, for example. There's a lot of,
and then of course you
get to play Hunk in Bloody Nun Last Rite, and so you always get to the pleasure of dealing with the nonsense that goes on. But I gotta imagine that makes it fun.
Oh, it does. It does. And then there's we never know what's going to happen on the set. Like 1 second it'll be like, hey, Will come over to me. Carl, you remember that sex scene we were talking about? I'm like, what sex scene? Oh, that's the one. Yeah, you're gonna do it. All right, fine. Okay, cool. Okay, done. All right, fine. But listen, the guy gave me a film career. So, and because of him, I got movies like Mutilator 2, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, which is a fun sequel from, Mutilator 1, which came out, another 80s film there. So before we get into Mutilator 2, I know Lauren's got a couple questions, especially about we were talking briefly about our MegaCon experience. So Lauren, by all means.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So everybody who's been following us always hosted a couple panels at MegaCon. Both were in the horror area. And there was, which I've never seen before. I'm a local to Orlando. I've never seen them have a horror setup like that. Because we hosted something in the horror panel last year too. There was nothing like there was this year. You had the 12-foot skeleton made me excited all on its own, and then there's a whole aisle of indie film creators and I think Screamboat Willie, obviously that was a big hit because it's Orlando.
Yeah, that was the big hit. Yes.
Yeah. But going down the aisle and kind of talking to some of these indie creators is where I met Carl, and we exchanged information and talked a little bit about Mutilator 2. And I haven't gotten a chance to watch the movie, but we did watch the trailer, and right away I just see this is on a beach. Because also what caught my attention was the picture, the poster is somebody under a boardwalk at the beach.
Yes.
So I'm like, I literally have my husband and I's engagement photos, very similar, but I'm not tied to the post in a bathing suit. And
that's your 20th wedding anniversary photos.
That's a divorce photo. That's what that is. Yeah. It was filmed. I'm sorry. It was filmed in.
That was actually one of my questions.
Atlantic Beach, North Carolina, which the original was filmed.
I know exactly. Where
yeah, it's the Oceana resort, I think Oceana Resort, and it's got Buddy Cooper, the director, owns it with, I believe, his sisters, and they've owned it for years. And I spent close to a month there shooting the film, and it was a beautiful location. If you need to shoot a film, try to get one on a beach, because it's you just go, oh, what am I gonna do? I think I'll go go jet skiing, or I think I'll go sit on the beach, or I think I'll just go fishing or something. It was a great location shoot,
especially in that area, which is by that. It's by the Outer Banks. For anybody who doesn't know, I have a friend. Again, my wife, her friend. We're looking at spending a few days down there actually, because that's where they have a house as well, and it's absolutely beautiful. So, how did Mutilator 2 come about? Tell us, what can you tell us about this film without spoiling it for the folks at home?
Well, also Atlantic Beach is by Morehead City, and Buddy Cooper's daughter, Halleck, has a restaurant called Amos Mosquito, which is actually across the street from the Oceana, and it was featured on Guy Fieri's show, Diners, Drive-In. Yes, I just mutilated. That whole Guy Fieri doesn't listen to this, but so.
Oh no, he's our number. He's actually a Patreon.
Oh, sorry, Guy. But it's if you guys visit that area, you'll see where we shot the movie, and you'll have some great barbecue. Yeah, no, it's good. It's award winning, and actually, Halleck's in the film. So, what was your question? I'm sorry. How did
this come about? What was how did Mutilator 2 come about?
Doing a sequel to a horror movie from the 80s.
He got together with a couple of producers. Ann Hale was a writer, and he wanted to do another movie, and Ann's like, well, why don't you do a sequel to the Mutilator? And somebody came up with the idea of using a film set, and he liked the idea. Somebody wrote a treatment of a cell phone ringing on a set of a movie, and it's like, I like that. Let's start from there. And the film starts. The film is a film crew making a remake of the first movie,
which I love.
So
meta concept.
It's a meta thing.
I love that.
In fact, Ruth Martinez from the original and Bill Hickok are in it, playing themselves. Yep, and
awesome.
I play a movie producer who oversees the whole film, and I'm not a nice guy, and things happen in the film. A murder happens, and it's really like a murder mystery of who is the killer. And to be honest, it's a great horror comedy. And when finally it is released, because it got picked up by a releasing company called Cardinal XD, and I think Buddy said they were talking about distribution in streaming services.
Yes.
I can't mention which ones because I don't know which ones.
Right.
Possible theater distribution. Again, I don't know when and where. Again, it's everything is it's new, but you will be seeing it shortly, very shortly.
And we will share when it is. So anybody who's listening that wants to see it, just make
Lauren,
sure.
you didn't see the film. You didn't see the film in Orlando?
No, we were all over the place because we had press passes and all that. So yeah.
Yeah, so did I. There's Indie Horror Junkie hosted us.
Yeah.
They're great, wonderful people. Rick Danford, Ashley Rolfson, and I think they're going to actually put up some video of our panel shortly on their website. But they're very good people, and I suggest checking out them too. IndieHorrorJunkie.com.
They're a great magazine and podcast and everything. Yeah, they do a lot of
Well, I don't want rival podcast, but listen.
We're all about here, like creators helping each other up, and they did a killer job. No pun intended. Of that entire, because I think one of the things that MegaCon had been missing, and when we announced our horror panel, some people were like, "Hey, MegaCon, there hasn't been a horror when we have Hollywood." Halloween horror nights and things. And so you can tell this year was a big hit, and they did a really great job of having you guys set up there. You have the tables out, the productions of getting to watch the movies and getting to talk about the movies with, the actors and people that produced it. I'm hoping that's something that a lot more conventions and MegaCon do more of, because I loved it.
Because I hadn't seen that before. Like, I was surprised when I saw that you guys were actually showing movies there. Like, I hadn't, other than I think they did like Jay and Silent Bob Get Old like a few years ago or something like that. And it was like an extra ticketed event. Like, I had never seen indie movies getting to debut at MegaCon before.
Right, and there was 4 and a whole bunch of shorts. Actually, you could have seen a lot of short films as well. The Screamboat Willie people, I can't think of their names right now, and I'm so ashamed because they were very nice people, and I got pictures with them. I can't think of their names, but they were cool. There was the movie called The Fetus. They were very nice to us.
Yeah,
yeah,
very nice. Creepy poster.
Yeah, it's still creepy, but it's just that movie, I think, is premiering all over the place. So, in fact, Mutilator 2 is kind of going to be doing that, like at the roadshow. Like, we've been doing that. We premiered originally in Vegas with Joe Bob Briggs. There was close to 800 people, supposedly 800 people there, and it was a drive-in, and there was like 8 screens,
so cool.
Which is hilarious because there's 8 screens. There's 8 screens in Mutilator 2, and then the 9th screen, I believe, was showing like Paw Patrol: The Revenge, the kids movie. I'm like, wait, that can't be there right there. That's not a good idea.
10th episode of Paw Patrol, like, I can really relate. I'd like to mutilate some puppies right now.
Yeah, people exactly. People getting mutilated in front. I'm like, okay, well, whatever.
You're on the case. Oy.
Then we did a Creature Feature Weekend in Pennsylvania, Gettysburg with Mutilator 2. That was fun. We got to meet some people there.
Gettysburg, another really cool, steeped in kind of ghost and paranormal as well. So that's got to be a cool feeling to do.
Oh, it was fun, and we had a great movie theater there. And then the big one was Fright Fest London. So me and Buddy and Anne Hale, the producer, his family, we went to Leicester Square, premiered at the Odeon, which is a famous movie theater. And I got to hear a couple of hundred Londoners left themselves silly at some of the hijinks that I was doing, which I can't mention because they're just, I don't want to give anything away.
Right.
Let's just say I'm a creep who does creepy things and gets my comeuppance. But my comeuppance is I have to, like the Scarlet Letter, wear this thing around the set. So people know, oh, wait, this guy was doing up to no good type of thing. So once I heard laughter, I'm like, great, we did our job. Fantastic. It's fabulous. And I got to be in a room with the director of The Substance, which is nominated for an Oscar.
Oh yeah, right, it was winning some awards. Demi Moore was doing, so that's a really good feeling, is when you get to go to these things and you're with directors from, say, The Substance, and you're hearing the laughter. I mean, even though it's a couple hundred people, like, that's still a really big deal.
No, it's a big movie theater too, so I was like,
it's historic,
yeah. And I think in Orlando we had a good turnout because people stayed for the panel. And we chatted with a lot of horror fans, and there's a lot of love for the first one. So when the second one comes out, I'm pretty sure people will enjoy the comedy and the meta-is of it, of being the legacy sequels that keep coming out. And some are good, some are bad. Let's be honest. And some are just like, why'd you do this? Wait, why? Oh, money. That's why you did it. Just to rip me off. We're kind of like in the middle. We're not gonna rip you off. You're gonna have a good time. We're gonna make you laugh. We're gonna make you, oh my god, what was that, kind of thing. So our movie's fun. You're gonna have fun.
Do you guys have? So you talked about a road show. Do you have any other places that you guys know you're going to yet?
I suggested Los Angeles, but we got to wait on that. We're not sure about that yet.
Fair.
But again, like it's just got it. We're right in the middle. I say we, like I'm like the kingpin here. But distribution is like here. So I mean, it could be streaming tomorrow for all I know at this point.
Right.
So I can't be like, oh, I'm going
here. It's on
streaming.
It would still be fun. I think there's a lot of value in going out there. And I feel it's almost a lost art, which I think you see is coming back. It's like you kind of mentioned, people getting together, you guys screen the film, and then you kind of get to talk about it after. I think there's a really
Buddy
cool
Cooper
thing.
and I love it because we love meeting the horror fans and signing posters, signing old laser discs of the first movie, that kind of thing. Like people come out with best drawn videos, and it's fun. And Buddy has the original theme song, Full Break. He's got 45 records, like the original records, and he sells those as well. Yeah, they're really, really they're cool. And no, the fans are really horror fans are the best because they're the most loyal.
Oh,
and I love horror fans. I'll give a horror fan shirt off my back in a sense. Even if they're in London, I was sitting down and signing something. I turned around and some man asked me for a T-shirt, and I didn't realize how close he was to me. So I'm like, his crotch was like an inch away from my nose.
Like, oh my god!
So I'm like, I'm tapping into the microphone kind of thing. Like, oh, that's all right. He's my fan. I can't be like, hey, buddy, you know. It's fine. I'll pet the dick. It's fine. It's good. Right. I'll sign it too while you're at it. Okay, that's fine.
Like, are we signing this or were we going?
Listen, I'm a good celebrity, all right? You'll say, hey, me.
Okay. Anything.
Lauren knows. Yeah, Lauren knows. I handed her cards. I'm like, hey, see my movie.
Yes,
that's true.
So there is another movie though. If anybody wants to see one of your movies right now, that's streaming on Tubi that you sent us, Blackest Darkness. So do you want to give us a little bit about that and who hated egg salad sandwiches and why do they hate them so much? They're really good with the salt and pepper.
That was a joke on the set. We're like, why is this? You know, why do you hate egg sandwiches? That was a lot. Yeah, okay, all right. So maybe the sequel. It's kind of like a pastiche of like David Lynch meets Stanley Kubrick kind of movie. Michael Goss is a big fan of I guess I don't want to say a surreal kind of genre, but like a more psychological genre where it's a character study, and every character the main character meets is part of his psyche, that kind of thing. So I play a creep again with my partner Anthony, who is like the ego of the main character, and I'm like the id. Like I just want to like go out and hurt people, and my partner is like, no, calm down. Let's talk about this type of thing. And there's a lot of David Lynch-esque stuff where there's light bulbs that crack, and Aaron, who's the lead, is like driving around in an old Mercedes, and like the glow of the dashboard like hits his face. And like, where's he going? It's just a fun movie, and it's like again 75 minutes long, which is good. It's not like some movies that are nominated that are like 4 hours long. You're like, great.
Yeah, no, you're just sitting there and it's like, oh my gosh, you're checking the time. But that's what I love again about horror is they're fun and they get right to the point. And it's 75 minutes is that sweet spot. 75 minutes, sometimes 90, sure. And it's the best. And you're talking about 2 characters in a row, creeps. Do you have a favorite character that you have played, or is there like a certain type of character that you prefer playing in these type of horror films?
I'll play any type of character, but like I do enjoy playing a hero, and I have played a hero a few times in Will Clauso's films. In the Silent Night, Bloody Night 3, I play Oscar, who is like this orderly, like I said, who's got to deal with a slasher, like 2 guys running around with Santa Claus outfits killing people, and like he has to deal with it. I like, because I usually am stereotyped as like the bad guy, and I played many a bad guy. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. And I haven't found the perfect role on film yet. I don't think I've found him yet. Even the one in Mutilator, I haven't found it yet, which is great. I mean, now in the theater, yes, I found Hercule Poirot, which I love, but of course that's theater, not film. In a short film I played a villain called Mr. Money, which he is living in a little boy's mind, and his parents are fighting about money. So the kid manifests a Mr. Money, which is a supervillain. And it's a short little 15 minutes long.
Clever idea.
Yeah. It was a UNSCA Winston-Salem, which is School of Visual Arts, and these kids are great. They have all sorts of equipment, and this film, which I think it's on their website, you could see, has me like doing all sorts of special effects, like shooting laser beams out of my eyes and shooting laser beams out of my chest, and that was a lot of fun because I never did anything like that, playing someone that evil, which is the characteristic of evil.
Yeah.
I played crazy, but never like the definition of evil type of
Right.
thing. But I look for if it interests me, I'll do it. If it's just like you're playing. Oh, you're gonna play the third character on the left who gets slaughtered by some monster. I got to read the script. I got to see if I'm gonna like that. No, for real, it's like I got if it interests me, yeah. If it's just because there's a lot of stuff fun. No, I'm not gonna pick on Tubi, but there's a lot of stuff out there where in the first 5 minutes you're like, no, I'm not gonna do that because right. Okay, the set wasn't set decorated. It's just some guy's house, and there's like a box of Cheerios right there. Like, why is the box of Cheerios obscuring the camera? Oh, that's right, because the guy doesn't know what he's doing, A, and B, he left the camera there, and he thought, oh, let's just shoot a scene right now while we're at breakfast. No, you have to write a script, silly. That's what you have to do, dear. You have to write a script, write a story, write some characters. And once you do that, then give me a call. Right. I'm always working, and I'm always ready to collaborate with somebody, but just don't waste my time. Mm-hmm. If you're going to say, let's do this, let's do that, let's write a script, then do it. That's fine. I'm pretty cheap if I like your script. If you really want me to do something crazy and I don't like your script, then I'm expensive. Because the better the script, the more I want to do it. Mm-hmm. And like the Mutilator, when Buddy told me, all right, well, I wanted another character. And I answered an ad backstage, and he's like, well, you're going to play Henry, the movie producer, and this is what happens to Henry, the movie. And I'm like, where do I sign? Like, the worst thing for someone to say to me is like, well, Carl, we want you to play a guy from New York. Okay, I am a guy. What's the angle? No, he's from a guy. Like, what are we doing? Exactly, and I can't hang that phone up fast enough. But if somebody says, "Well, you're going to be a anthropologist, dinosaur hunter, and a T-Rex is going to eat me and defecate me out," where do I sign? Oh, but he's got to be from New York. Okay, that's fine. Still, where do I sign? It's got to interest me.
It's got to be, I mean, it's off the wall. It's things, because it's those things to me, for you, obviously, it's got to be memorable, right? Like if you're talking about a T-Rex eating you and then shitting you out, it's one of those things that we're going to remember. People are going to talk about it from that film. So it's going to be even more fun.
Well, yeah, it's great for an actor.
See that kind of stuff on film. So I imagine for you as well, it's easier to get into that mode and have a lot more fun versus you're just a guy from New York. All right, well, I guess I'm playing myself. And so there's no real acting, so to speak, involved.
It's that and the guy. Well, thank you. The challenge and the fact that instead of playing just some random dude from New York, wait, that's the guy that got eaten by the T-Rex. And then you'll remember I'm the guy that got eaten by a T-Rex. Kind of thing.
I mean, we all remember the lawyer that died on the toilet from the T-Rex.
He left us.
That's true.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
When you go, there you
go. One of the things that we do absolutely still remember, I quote that on the daily. But you mentioned your perfect role. Do you have your idea of what that is, or you'll know it when you see it?
You know what? I actually kind of do. It's like a dream role. No, it's not like Spider-Man or something. If I was going to do one of those, I would love to play the Green Goblin or like the Joker, like a classic kind of villain.
Yeah.
But now playing Hercule Poirot as a detective and solving crimes on stage, I would love to play a cop, a detective, like a Columbo or something. Like could see me busting somebody and like solving crimes like that. But I was listening. Give me a TV show, please.
We're just saying, we got the perfect. You need a cop? We got you. Listen, he'll play the cop at New York, but gotta do some fun shit. All right, you can't just be cop from New York. You gotta do some fun stuff. So make it exciting if you're gonna do cop from New York. All right, people.
Yeah, stick me in Antarctica or something. That'd be cool, right? Like I could solve.
You're solving crime with penguins.
I was a penguin detective. Done. I'm there. Yeah, I'm sort of penguin.
Like Batman. Yeah, Batman's gotta be involved somewhere in there.
The Emperor Penguin. He's got him. I got him in the car.
He calls up the penguin expert he knows, and it's Carl.
Hey, wait, no, this is a good idea. Wait a minute, I watched that. Why not?
Hey, I think we're starting to cook here a little bit, but it's. I always love getting to talk because there is. You mentioned how horror fans are the best, but I think horror actors are also the best because you guys go from playing just gruesome, oftentimes just out of left field, but you're some of the nicest, funniest, greatest people to be around. And what is that like? Is there anything on the set where it's easier or harder to get into that mindset? And how do you separate that sometimes?
Oh, on the set?
Yeah,
Oh,
because you gotta go in and get to that mindset of, okay, I'm this fun-loving guy, and now I gotta go and do this terrifying, horrifying. Is it easy for you to get into that mode, or is it just, hey, I can do it in my sleep?
it's easy because it's fake. And here's what I mean by that. Because there's a guy in front of you who's the camera guy, then there's the boom mic, then there's the makeup guy on the left, and then okay, we're gonna do Carl, you're gonna open this door, and then the rubber skeleton's gonna come out, but it's on monofilament, and then you're gonna take a break, we're gonna cut, and then on your two, you're gonna turn around, you're gonna do the same thing, but then the skeleton's gonna cut in half and just look scared as the blood comes out. So yeah, it's all procedure at that point. Um, Acting in a scene with another person, no, you got to rehearse with them. Even on set, even on a movie, it's best to go find a quiet place with somebody and whatever scene it is. Like actually, Mutilator 2, I have a scene with Cody Renee Cameron, who I believe she's in the show The Mayans, which is a offshoot of Sons of Anarchy. I could be wrong about that. Check her out on YouTube. Hey, it's Cody. She's great. She's actually a stunt lady too. I think she did a full burn effect actually in some film. I just saw something. I called her up like, "Why are you burning yourself?" Anyway, but her and I like sat on the beach and we're like, "Look, this is going to be a really hard scene because I'm a creep. I'm coming on to her." I'm like, "Well, how do we do this?" And like, I'm like, "It's not comfortable." So I'm like, I kind of want to do it funny-ish. And like, well, how can you be like a funny, like sex abuser? I'm like, well,
you a funny creep.
Watch this. Yeah, funny creep. Oh, watch this. And when you see the film, I am a funny creep, but she's all into it, and we were all, she was improvising. She's a wonderful actress, and I mean, I loved working with her. I love working with everybody on the set of Mutilator 2 as well. Terry Kaiser's in it too. We don't have a scene together, but he was very nice on the set to me, and he is very memorable in the film when you finally see it. That's all I'm going to say.
So do you get a lot of opportunities in the movies you do to ad-lib, or is that a rarity?
It kind of comes out of me. Yes, I just try it. I'll go to the director. Let me try something. Usually they'll trust me. I've done that on the Blackest Darkness. I did that a lot on Mutilator. Like, buddy, just let me do it, because I'm like, buddy, just let me do this. Just watch this.
Right.
And in fact, the line I did ad lib is the line that every time I've seen the Mutilator 2, the audience reaction is amazing, because it's just so out of left field, and I just say to a woman something very rude, and it worked. My character's rude, so he has to say some rude stuff. Right. So I'm like, well, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. And the best feeling is when it works on stage or in film, when you hear laughter or like gasps or something, or I mean, you can't hear applause in the film, but when you get reactions, wow, that was good. That was great. I enjoyed myself, and normally I don't like these kind of movies, but I liked watching you in the movie, that kind of thing. That's always good. So my experience and training as an actor makes me adapt. What I don't like, and this has happened a few times, when I have non-professionals in front of me, and that's a lot of heavy lifting for me, because they are not seasoned, they don't know what they're doing, and they are bland and just either saying lines or just not giving me anything. So then I gotta literally heavy lift, and make myself the center of attention and bring the story back to where it is. Not me even, just being like, well, the story is this, and push myself as pushing the plot forward. And that's very difficult, but I've done it.
Yeah. And that's I mean, that's just a testament to ad-libbing, a testament to just the work that you guys do. Like, anybody thinks that they can just get in front of a camera and act. That's not the case. It's a very hard profession, and I have such respect for the people like yourself that do it. Sorry,
I don't just go and ad lib like, hey, screw your script, I got this.
Yeah,
sometimes I feel like that.
No, it feels natural.
But like I said, I'll walk up to the director and say, just let me just do this, and they can say no. I mean, that's the same point. But
right, you're not wasting film nowadays because it's digital.
Right, exactly. It's not. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's not back in the old days. Yeah, you could take after take after take. They just got to dump the hard drive,
right,
and that kind of thing. But I mean, I want to offer everybody every opportunity and every type of choice that I can make. I could do this. I could do that. But just let me try stuff. I'm even doing that recently on stage. I'm like, let me just try stuff. And I know a couple of the theater actors are kind of And I feel and the director might be a little frustrated with me because I'm just used to take after take after take. Like, let me just do this. Let me do this. No. Just do that. It's like, no, you were on stage. They gotta know what you're doing. So it's like that's kind of like I have to like slap myself on the wrist. But like, oh yeah, that's right.
Right.
There's no film. There's no film. But
yeah, that's got to be a big adjustment.
But I'm an actor, so I have to push the character as much as I can. And then, as I'm sure you heard, like make it your own. I definitely, after a while, like I was Hercule Poirot and trying to be all, I am, this Belgian detective, and I go, wait a minute. I'm like, the director hired me for a reason. So yeah, okay, I've been doing this for months. Now it's time to add me into it. So now I'm giving him like my edge, or what would I do, or what? Let me do the pro in my kind of way, quirky type of thing, instead of like a historical type of performance. And I mean that I could see like if like the recent film Nosferatu by Robert Eggers.
Oh, yeah. Good movie. Yes.
Bill Skarsgård was amazing, and he had like this deep like
deep voice in the way he was able to roll his R. Oh my god.
Yes, right. He talk like this, and then you have to eat and drink like that. I spent weeks just talking like that. Going to the Burger King. I want the Big Mac. I want the soda with the ice, lots of ice. What'd you say, sir? This is the McDonald's. Oh, sorry. Excuse me, my bad. Yeah,
here.
Yeah, and that was the only my only thing is I feel like they kind of put him in the film like too much in shadow, where you like they couldn't see him. But I thought he was. But I thought he was amazing in the movie. I thought the movie was incredible. I think everyone should see it.
Agreed.
But like again, he's different than Klaus Kinski, who did it in 1979 with Werner Herzog. Willem Dafoe did Shadow of the Vampire, but the same character type of thing. You wanted, Dafoe did his thing, and Skarsgård did his, Kinski did his, and Max Schreck is a real vampire, so that doesn't matter. So yeah, if you get the opportunity to like the James Bonds, like how many James Bonds? Every like 6 or 7 of them. They want to put they got hired for that role. It's like they're not doing it just to be commercial about it. They want to put their own little artistic spin on it. So same thing with me. So
that makes a lot of sense.
I don't know if I got the opportunity to play. I don't know. Batman or Freddy Krueger or something. I mean, I don't know what I do with that, but Batman is underneath the cape, and the Joker. I think every actor who played the Joker. I don't know about Cesar Romero, but every actor I believe won an Oscar. Not for just playing the Joker, but like Heath Ledger did.
Yeah, Heath Ledger and Jack Nicholson.
Joaquin Phoenix won it for the Joker.
Yep.
Jack Nicholson's an Oscar winner, and Jared Leto is an Oscar winner.
Yep, for Dallas Buyers Club, I believe. Yep.
I guess I'm not going to be the.
I really like Cameron Monaghan's.
You never know.
Yeah, who's that? Cameron Monaghan.
Who's that? He was in Gotham.
The show Gotham.
The TV show. Well, it's TV. Yeah. I mean. You get Emmys for TV.
But he did phenomenal in that. I feel like it's very underrated because not many people checked out Gotham. But he did really good.
That's not fair. That's a testament to that character. They're not going to let anybody just play that character. You have to be of a caliber. And so like again, like when I was cast in this theater production as Perot, I was flattered. I'm like, take this super serious. And I took this also to put this on my resume. So I can now lead a show.
Yeah.
So, I could lead a film to begin with, but again, now I have proof that I can definitely lead something. Somebody cast me in the lead of something. I'm ready to be a lead something. I want to do something.
Get this man. Let's do this.
It's going to be a detective cop in Antarctica.
Investigating penguins for drug smuggling. Yeah, that's great.
They do walk a little funny.
You thought they were just having scientific research in Antarctica, but really the cartel is down there. They're stuffing penguins with cocaine, and they're shipping them to zoos across America. There you go. There's your story.
That's a box office smash right there. Yeah.
I'm just saying,
I love it.
We got something going, but
it hasn't been told. You win the first.
That's right. So I'm gonna steal this. Yeah, I'm gonna steal it in like 5 years. I'm like, wait a second. We just came up with that ourselves. Mm-hmm. What are we doing?
Well, then you're gonna have to sue me.
Just give me a small role. That's all I'm asking. If everybody takes that idea, just let me be one of the cartel people who get killed or something. I don't know.
My joke is always like, I do my own nude scenes, even though there aren't any nude scenes in the film. Carl, put your clothes back on, please. Sorry.
Why are you naked? I thought this was my bad.
Oh, I thought this was. Oh, sorry.
I'm just showing my commitment to the film.
Yeah.
Well, I thought my character would be naked. Listen, there's some people like that. And you go, what are you doing?
Probably
I've been
happens.
in on set. I'm dead serious. I've been on set where like I'm doing the scene, literally like, running out of the room, or something, and there's no camera on another actor in another room, and they're like acting, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, no, the camera's not coming in, but like they're so into their characters that they're not listening to you. Like
They're
we're in
just
the no, you're in the green room, honey. I don't know what you're doing. Okay, the camera's
Like
that way.
doing method acting or something, like just so in
I don't
character they can't get
I
out
don't
of
even
it.
know what it is. It's crazy acting. That's what it is.
It's
It's like,
crazy.
oh, you're not acting. You're actually crazy. Okay, stay
Oh,
away
this
from me.
is
Thank you.
you. All right, got you.
Ah, I see. Okay, all right. That's why he hired you.
Yeah,
Call
they're
my
not
agent.
even acting.
Well, Carl,
People have problems.
we start to kind of wrap up here. It's been, dude, I've enjoyed this a ton. Do you have any other conventions coming up or any other? I know we have this coming weekend. You've got the big weekend coming on. Do you have any other plays where people can find you? What do you have coming down the pipe?
Well, honestly, like Mutilator 2, just keep on subscribing to the social media, the Facebook page. Instagram's the big one. It's Mutilator 2 at Instagram. I believe we have an X account. Check out The Blackest Darkness on Tubi. You will not be disappointed. It is a fun ride.
Don't watch it with your kids, though. I'll tell you that. My
Don't
12-year-old's big into horror, and very quickly I'm like, I'm not watching this with you.
It wasn't that scary, I don't think. Was it?
No, it wasn't the scary stuff. It was the other stuff and things that were being said and stuff being done in the parking lot.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. All right. Don't watch it with your children. Okay. I keep forgetting because I'm not in that scene. I keep forgetting about that. Yeah, but okay, but the movie, yeah, all right. The movie is funny as well. I gotta say, it's funny. There is some parts that
definitely has an element to that. Yeah.
Yes.
I've heard a movie theater crack up with a lot of stuff that I said too. Another movie. It's something about me and my voice saying dirty things. But oh well, listen, that's how I made a career. Okay. Silent Night, Deadly Night 3 is on Vimeo, and I believe it's going to be streaming soon. Same thing with Bloody Nun.
Nice.
3. Oh, I'm gonna get yelled at for this one. There's a new Bloody Nun film. It's a film where I play a television host, a paranormal television host, and I have 5 paranormal experts in the haunted church, and we try to resurrect the Bloody Nun. And yeah, that's fun because I play a jerk. Of course, I'm not a nice guy wearing pink pants. So it's definitely you got to see that. And
bag for all of these first and foremost.
Yeah, and I think I have a reel of like short films. I think on my IMDb page and stuff. And I'm just waiting for the next big event, the Detective Penguin thing. We're gonna wait to get that. I'm trying to finance something I wrote actually, but I'm right now I'm exhausted with the play. So as soon as that ends, I'm gonna actually strongly look at funding, maybe on Indiegogo. Try to get a backer or two. It's a like a short horror film that I have a concept for. I have 4 scripts written for it. That's the thing with me. I am a playwright and screenwriter at heart as well. And I usually go into the drafts of double digits, like draft 27, because I don't like 26 because I changed a vowel somewhere. But like I do it because I was trained to writing is always rewriting.
Mm-hmm.
And never, it's never perfect until whatever. But I think I have something that's good, and I just need to get, cinematographer, director, music, cast, location, the whole thing. So I guess look for that somewhere on my social media. But you can follow me on Instagram at Carl J Grasso, on Instagram, and I believe Facebook. The same thing.
Yeah, you're always, hey, if you want to come back and you're looking to raise funds, let us know. We're always down to chat and help out people such as yourself. Like I would love to see things like that get made, and that's what it's all about. So thanks again for hanging out and joining us, and hopefully I'll see you down there in Greensboro soon. But Lauren, do you have any
you have to visit your grandma, right? She's
my wife's got to visit her grandma, and I just we're gonna go get some beer, and we're gonna catch some good stuff, and
absolutely
keep in touch. That's what we're gonna do.
Definitely. We're gonna do that. Well, it's great to meet you, Matt, and Lauren. Thank you, and I hope to see you guys again.
Yeah, we'll
Yes,
be
we'll
chatting again
definitely
soon.
be watching the movie when we get it in our hands. And
Yes.
It will be
review
close.
on the
I
podcast.
promise. I promise it's coming. I promise.
Well, I just gave Mutilator 2 a follow, so we'll be up there
There
with
you go.
Need to Know right away. Yeah.
There you go.
Terrific.
Thanks everybody for hanging out. We'll see you guys next time. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you.